In a large scale infrastructure project, project manager Laura has encountered a challenge. She has recently learned that several key stakeholders, including local government officials and community leaders, have concerns about project's environmental impact. Okay, external impact created by the project. These stakeholders are crucial to the project success but currently lack a clear understanding of the project's sustainability measures. Laura needs to address this issue effectively to align stakeholder expectations and project's objective. Which plan should Laura refer to first in order to tackle this situation? Thankfully, the question became easy by the end because I was worried about the external impact, the risk, and the engagement and different stakeholder even lacking the awareness of what is happening in it. So it was a complicated thing. But by the last line, the things is easy. We are looking for which plan can help us in understanding how to tackle these stakeholders. So relatively simple. Let's go with options. Option A, review the stakeholder engagement plan to identify the best strategy for achieving, for actively involving these key stakeholders and addressing their concerns. Looks good idea. Yeah, usually the overall problem which is referred about managing stakeholder expectations and need and overall project objective is a stakeholder engagement plan. Yeah, so that is definitely is here. Now, option B, consult and the communication management plan to determine the most effective way to disseminate detailed information about the project's environmental impact to these stakeholders. Need it. Yeah, but first I need to have a clarity about the engagement plan before I go for communication. Maybe our different approach of communication maybe not needed detail. So option B is directly saying send the detailed information, may not necessary. So it depends upon what is our overall engagement strategy. Based on that, we have a communication strategy we will follow. But I need to first understand how do I deal and engage with these people before I go for communication. So option A is better than option B. Option C, examine the risk management plan to assess and mitigate any potential environmental risk associated with the project. Definitely needed. Yeah, but the question is talking about stakeholder expectation. That's why I was confused when I'm reading the whole question. Yes, it is talking about a potential risk, but finally, the end question is focusing on stakeholder engagement. So I can stay away from option C. Option D, consult the compliance management plan to ensure all stakeholders, communications, and engagement adhere to environmental regulation and standard, thereby providing reassurance to concerned stakeholder about the project commitment to sustainability. Now, that could be a potential option. Yeah, that could be a potential option. But here, we are not clearly seeing that whatever is happening is breaching the compliance or it is just a concern. So I directly jump and focus on providing the detail about how well we are adhering to the compliances of the environmental impact may not be a good idea, and where the question is primarily focusing on how do you manage expectations and the aligned stakeholder. Yeah, so in general, we are saying the stakeholder are crucial and they have a lack of current understanding. They don't even understand the overall compliances. How should I manage and align stakeholder and expectations? So the overall goal is alignment of stakeholder expectations and managing their engagement. In that case, I can directly focus on stakeholder engagement plan rather than focusing on compliance, risk, or communication issues, which all are relevant here. All are relevant option, but I start with looking at engagement plan. Yeah, so little tricky question, but I think if we focus on the fine lines, the things becomes easy. And many times we face these kind of question in the PMP. There are many issues explained in the question, but we need to focus on which issue the question want us to focus more on. And we get the hint usually towards the end of the question. And here also the hint was coming that we are focusing on how do we engage and align stakeholders. So stakeholder engagement plan, option A. And yes, this particular question is mapped to task 4 of a process domain, engage stakeholders. And yes, it requires a good understanding of stakeholder engagement plan and the objective and the uses of stakeholder engagement plan.